Quiero, quiero. Quiero, quiero. Quiero, quiero. Quiero, quiero. Hello, alcoholics, and welcome to an Aka story time. I'm going to tell you a little story. Today's story is The Frog Prince, or Iron Henry. It's a German fairy tale collected by the Brothers Grimm and published in 1812 in Grimm's Fairy Tales. I hope you enjoy it. It's a very cute little frog story. You probably know it, but I don't know. I don't think I've ever actually read, the proper Grimm's fairy tale version of it. Oh gosh, is it gonna be one of those Grimm's fairy tale stories where it's, deeply upsetting? I didn't actually think about this. I haven't read it yet. Okay, let's get into it. Enjoy some nice frog times. The Frog Prince. One fine evening, a young princess put on her bonnet and clogs and went out to take a walk by herself in the wood. This is my bonnet. It's my frog bonnet. And when she came to a cool spring of water that rose in the midst of it, she sat down to rest a while. Now she had a golden ball in her hand, which was her favorite plaything, and she was always tossing it up into the air and catching it again as it fell. After a time, she threw it up so high that she missed catching it as it fell, and the ball bounded away and rolled upon the ground, till at last it fell down into the spring. The princess looked into the spring after her ball, but it was very deep, so deep that she could not see the bottom of it. Then she began to bewail her loss and said, "Alas, if I could only get my ball again, I would give all my fine clothes and jewels and everything I have in the world." Jeez, it's just a ball. It's just a ball, man. While she was speaking, a frog put its head out of the water and said, "Princess, why do you weep so bitterly?" "Alas," said she, "what can you do for me, you nasty frog? My golden ball has fallen into the spring." The frog said, "I want not your pearls and jewels and fine clothes, but if you will love me and let me live with you and eat from your golden plate and sleep upon your bed, I will bring you your ball again." That's a high price for a ball. It's a very high price for a ball, man. I don't know about that. Also, in this world, are talking frogs just normal? What's up here? What's the situation? How curious. What nonsense, thought the princess. This silly frog is talking. So it isn't normal! Wait, hold on. Why was her first reaction to the frog, "Ew, you're gross," and then her second reaction to the frog was, "Wait, you're talking"? Get your priorities in line, you silly goose. He can never even get out of the spring to visit me, though he may be able to get my ball for me, and therefore I will tell him that he shall have what he asks. So, she said to the frog, "Well, if you will bring me my ball, I will do as you ask." Then the frog put his head down and dived deep under the water, and after a little while he came up again with the ball in his mouth and threw it on the edge of the spring. As soon as the young princess saw her ball, she began to pick it up. She was so overjoyed to have it in her hand again that she never thought of the frog, but ran home with it as fast as she could. The frog called after her, "Stay, princess, and take me with you, as you said." But she did not stop to hear a word. The next day, as the princess had sat down to dinner, she heard a strange noise. Tap, tap, plash, plash. As if something was coming up the marble staircase. And soon afterwards, there was a gentle knock at the door. And a little voice cried out and said, "Open the door, my princess dear, open the door to thy true love here, and mind the words that thou and I said by the fountain cool in the greenwood shade." Sade? Would it be Sade? This seems kind of messed up, because if she's little enough to just be, playing with a ball, I don't feel like she should be, put into this situation where she's now contractually obligated to this poor frog. This frog is entrapping her. Oh no, that's not good. Then the princess ran to the door and opened it, and there she saw the frog, whom she had quite forgotten. At this sight she was sadly frightened, and shutting the door as fast as she could, came back to her seat. The king, her father, seeing that something had frightened her, asked her what was the matter. "There is a nasty frog," said she, "at the door that lifted my ball for me out of the spring this morning. I told him that he should live with me here, thinking that he could never get out of the spring, but there he is at the door, and he wants to come in." While she was speaking, the frog knocked again at the door, and said, "Open the door, my princess dear, open the door to thy true love here, and mind the words that thou and I said by the fountain cool in the greenwood shade." Then the king said to the young princess, "As you have given your word, you must keep it. So go and let him in." She did so, and the frog hopped into the room, and then straight on. Tap, tap, plash, plash. From the bottom of the room to the top, till he came up close to the table where the princess sat. "Pray lift me upon chair," he said to the princess, "and let me sit next to you." As soon as she had done this, the frog said, "Put your plate nearer to me, that I may eat out of it." This she did, and when he had eaten as much as he could, he said, "Now I am tired. Carry me upstairs and put me into your bed." And the princess, though very unwilling, took him up in her hand and put him on the pillow of her own bed, where he slept all night long. As soon as it was light, he jumped up, hopped downstairs, and went out of the house. "Now then," thought the princess, "at last he is gone, and I shall be troubled with him no more." But she was mistaken. For when night came again, she heard the same tapping at the door, and the frog came once more and said, "Open the door, my princess dear, open the door to thy true love here, and mind the words that thou and I said by the fountain cool in the greenwood shade." And when the princess opened the door, the frog came in and slept upon her pillow as before till the morning broke. And the third night he did the same. But when the princess awoke on the following morning, she was astonished to see, instead of the frog, a handsome prince gazing upon her with the most beautiful eyes she had ever seen, and standing at the head of her bed. He told her that he had been enchanted by a spiteful fairy who had changed him into a frog, and that he had been fated so to abide till some princess should take him up out of the spring and let him eat from her plate and sleep upon her bed for 3 nights. That's so specific, what the heck? "You," said the prince, "have broken this cruel charm, and now I have nothing to wish for but that you should go with me into my father's kingdom, where I will marry you and love you as long as you live." The young princess, you may be sure, was not long in saying yes to all this, and as they spoke, a gay coach drove. I'm sorry. I'm stupid. I always forget that that word is just a different thing back in ye old days. Okay. As they spoke, a gay coach drove up with 8 beautiful horses decked with plumes of feathers and a golden harness, and behind the coach rode the prince's servant, faithful Heinrich, who had bewailed the misfortunes of his dear master during his enchantment so long and so bitterly that his heart had well nigh burst. They then took leave of the king and got into the coach with 8 horses, and they all set out full of joy and merriment for the prince's kingdom, which they reached safely, and there they lived happily a great many years. Or perhaps they lived hoppily. This was so incredibly different from, like, the one that I'm used to. Like, just entirely. Just, like... Like, the frog doesn't even kiss her. He just eats her food and sleeps on her pillow for 3 days. Where did the... Like, is this a different one? Is there another version? What is the actual frog prince? Who is he? And why is his coach gay? I don't understand. This was so silly. I at least expected it to be somewhat similar. What the heck? I'm obviously the Disney version is gonna be super different, but even just, like, the basic fable that you're told is, like, the princess finds a prince, he says he's cursed, and he's a prince, and she has to kiss him, and she kisses him, and then he's a prince. And it's like, don't judge people by appearances or something? Is that the moral of that story, or am I stupid? I don't remember, it's been ages. But this one is literally just like, I dropped my ball, and then this dude slept on my pillow and ate my food for 3 days. And then he became a prince and we rode off in his gay coach. It's very different from what I expected. I hope you enjoyed this silly little fairy tale time. This one's a little bit less formal than the last one. I kind of just wanted to do a little silly goofy and maybe talk about it. I hope that was okay. If you'd like to listen to that past series, I read Alice in Wonderland, which was really fun. There wasn't any commentary, I just kind of read it. I don't know what I was doing, I just kind of went with it. But that's in a playlist over here on the left, and And if you'd like to watch something else, that's on my face. That's on my little froggy face right now. I hope you enjoyed, and thank you to all of my lovely members. You're all very great, and I am so happy to have you here. What's your favorite Grimm's fairy tale? Maybe I'll read it next. They're super fun, and it's interesting to see where like these long passed down stories originated from. If this is even the origin, I'm not actually completely sure. But I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye! Quero, quero!